They said she was a witch. They said her hands called lightning. Her eyes saw what no one else could. They said her words could twist the will of men. But what she truly did was think. And in her time, that was the greatest crime of all. The year was 415 A.D. The city was Alexandria, a city of marble streets and burning scrolls, a city where the old gods were dying and the new ones demanded silence. In a marble hall near the great library, a woman drew circles in sand. Her name was Hypatia, philosopher, astronomer, mathematician, daughter of a scholar, student of a universe. As sunlight poured through stained glass, Hypatia taught her students about the heavens. Do not look to the gods for answers, she said. Look to the stars. They have never lied. Her voice was steady, her mind clear, but her words carried danger. For in her time, knowledge itself could be a death sentence. The Roman Empire was fracturing. Faith and power were tangled. The old library had burned, and with each flame, centuries of knowledge vanished. In the chaos, Hypatia's classroom became a sanctuary, a place where pagans, Jews, and Christians came together to learn about the world, not through prayer, but through proof. She built models of the solar system long before telescopes existed. She taught geometry as if it were poetry. She believed the universe was not ruled by anger or divine whim, but by elegant mathematical law. And for that belief, she was marked. Whispers began. She is too learned. She defies the will of God. She speaks with the voice of demons. They said she was unnatural. They said she was dangerous. They said she was a witch. One morning, as she rode her chariot to teach, a mob stopped her in the street. They dragged her from the seat. They tore her robes. They beat her until her voice was gone. And there, in the city she loved, Hypatia of Alexandria was murdered. Her flesh burned. Her ashes scattered to the wind. With her death, the world lost more than a woman. It lost a way of thinking. Historians call it the beginning of the Dark Ages. But it wasn't darkness that fell. It was fear. Fear of women. Fear of knowledge. Fear of truth. Centuries passed. Empires rose and fell. And the same story repeated. Every time a woman reached beyond her place, every time she asked questions the world wasn't ready to answer, they called her a witch. They were healers, midwives, herbalists, women who understood the secrets of the earth before science had names for them. They treated fever with bark. They stopped bleeding with moss. They eased childbirth with roots. But to the men who ruled the pulpit, it wasn't healing. It was heresy. In 1487, two inquisitors wrote a book called The Hammer of Witches. It told men how to find witches, how to torture them, how to burn them. They said women were weak, easily tempted, that their knowledge was the work of the devil. From Germany to Scotland, from France to Spain, the fires rose. Villages turned against their daughters. Neighbors whispered. Priests accused. Tens of thousands were burned alive. One of them was Valperga Hausmannen, a midwife from Augsburg, Germany. She had delivered hundreds of babies safely. Her herbs and tonics worked wonders. When the plague came, she fought it with smoke and vinegar. When it passed, they accused her of causing it. She was tortured until she confessed to flying with demons. But centuries later, scholars studied her recipes. Inside them were natural compounds that kill bacteria. She wasn't summoning spirits. She was practicing medicine 400 years before modern antibiotics. Then there was Alice Nutter, England, 1612. Wealthy, educated, independent. She made remedies from honey and willow bark. She helped the sick recover. But one bad harvest came. The church called it the devil's punishment. And Alice, the woman who healed, became the witch who cursed. She was tried, convicted, and hanged. 3 centuries later, scientists discovered willow bark contained salicylic acid, the foundation of aspirin. Alice had found pain relief before chemistry could name it. But history remembered her only as a witch. Years later, another woman, Julia Tofana, was accused of poisoning men in Italy. She was tortured, executed, her name blackened. But the truth was different. Her formula, rediscovered centuries later, contained minerals known to dull pain and calm the nerves. She wasn't killing men. She was helping abused women survive them. They called it magic. We call it chemistry. They called it heresy. We call it physics. They called it witchcraft. We call it science. The pattern never stopped. Émilie du Châtelet, France, 1700s. She translated Newton's Principia Mathematica. She improved it, expanded it, explained energy in a way Newton never could, but they said she stole the work. They said she was a mistress, not a mind. When she died in childbirth, her work almost vanished. But modern physics later found her equations inside Einstein's theory of relativity. They mocked her once. Now they quote her without knowing her name. The witch hunts never truly ended. They simply evolved. Today, they no longer burn women for knowing too much. They just silence them. In labs, in boardrooms, in universities, you can still hear the echoes. She's too emotional. She's too ambitious. She's not one of us. Centuries pass, but the ghosts of the pyres remain. Every woman who dares to question still feels the heat. In the 1950s, Rosalind Franklin took X-ray images of DNA. Those images revealed the double helix, the secret of life. But her male colleagues took her data. They won the Nobel Prize. She died at 37, never recognized. Decades later, the truth surfaced. She had seen it first. She had seen life itself. Every age has its Hypatia. Every century, a woman who sees too far. And every time, the world punishes her for it. Yet, despite everything, the fear, the fires, the silence, truth always returns. Look around. Every hospital, every vaccine, every telescope, every phone. Somewhere behind them stands a woman the world once called mad. They were not witches. They were the first scientists. And the world killed them for being right too soon. If Hypatia could see us now, satellites orbiting Earth, telescopes reaching galaxies, she would not be surprised. She always knew that no lie can bury truth forever. It can only delay it. Every witch burn was a lesson ignored. Every silenced woman was a question left unanswered. But still, the fire spreads, not the fire of hate, the fire of curiosity. It burns in the minds of young girls who dream of stars. It burns in the laboratories and the libraries. It burns in every person who whispers, "I will not be silent." They called her a witch. They called her cursed. They called her dangerous. But centuries later, science proved she was right. We call them witches when we are afraid. We call them geniuses when they are gone. Remember their names. Remember their light. And if this story moved you, kindly subscribe to this YouTube channel for more videos, because some stories deserve to be told. Until no one dares to burn the truth again,